Holy moly. Oh, come on, man. For real? Holy macaroni. Took me 5 minutes just to sign into freaking YouTube. God almighty. Oh, hey everybody. Come on. There goes the attendees bouncing around again. I defaulted back to King Banana Head because it's got the robot thumbnail on it, or picture or image. And yeah. Anyway, I have two cell phones, and the one I didn't bring is the one that's associated with this freaking YouTube account. And I was trying to sign in for the chat, and they're like, "Oh, we sent a code to your phone." I don't have that damn phone with me. That phone's like my house, man. Somehow I was able to do it, though. What a pain, man. What a pain. Well, everybody, welcome to the monthly stream. It's that time of the month. Run to the store, get your sanitary napkins. It's that time of the month. No, it's not that time. It's the time where you get to see me live with no notice as usual. And you're saying, what the hell, man? Why can't you tell us, like less than or more than 2 hours in advance? And that's because I don't know when I'm able to do this. That's why. So anyway, so, since the last time, we've had a couple of failures, a couple of woke failures, the Acolyte and Concord the game, and a few other things. So that was pretty funny. Who's surprised about that? But let me adjust this camera. What? Maybe like that. And should I go up a little bit? I don't know. Yeah, that's good enough. Anyway, so for those that are watching now and they might watch it later, Hair Juicer, what's going on, bro? Good afternoon to you too. You know, we have had so much freaking rain. Let me bitch about the weather first because, like we got this farm property, the farm as I call it. We're restoring the house. That's going along splendidly, but the property needs a lot of work, clearing, grading, stuff like that. But the pond was dry, man. I mean, this pond like didn't even have a stitch of water in it. Maybe an inch when we first looked at it before we actually bought it. Now we've had like hell a week of rain, and the pond. If you see the video, and not only is it filled to the max, there's an island in the middle that's like overflowed, and the freaking overflow is 20, 30 feet out of it. Like I couldn't even. I had put on in Florida. I'm putting on winter like winter boots, snow boots, because the ground was that wet and deep with water. And they even weren't deep enough to get to the deepest part. So it's like, what the hell, man? This weather sucks. And it's going to rain for another week. There's some roads flooding and stuff. This is like the worst rain since I've been here in this area for 5 years, even though I've actually achieved 20 years in Florida now. 15 years from the 80s to the mid 90s, and now 5 years recently. But this rain, it sucks. It sucks balls, man. And yeah, so we're kind of having to figure out. The good thing is that when we have to build this barn eventually for the horses that'll go there, now we know where not to put it because what the hell is flooded. So anyway, that's going on. Now, next week, I'm going to pull this video up here. Next week, we're going to do our first con. And believe it or not, I've never went to a con. And by that, I mean like a Comic-Con, at least not that I remember. I mean, maybe I went under the influence 30 years ago, and I don't recall, or 20 years ago. But no, I honestly don't remember. But we had Movement Magazine came out, did an article on us. And the guy that owns it, Max something or other, don't be offended, Max, if you see this. He invited us to it. He says, I'll give you 6-foot tables. And we're like, all right, let's try our first con. And in this case, it's Ancient City Con. So here's a short video. I figured, let's watch this. I'm going to shrink myself here so you get the full effect. This has got a lot of stuff, man. We didn't even know if we were going to bring anything to sell. I mean, we have T-shirts, we have mugs, pens, tchotchkes, but we also have vintage toys. We have the repro toys, a lot from the 90s, a lot of 10. I looked at this, I was like, hell, man. We're like so unprepared for this. I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, we're going to have like very unique items, but this is like a freaking store. Look at there's what's her name? It's funny. I started watching Demon Slayer, and that's Nezuko. Now I know their names. Nezuko. I'd probably buy a Nezuko something like it's just kind of cool. None of the Disney crap. Anime stuff, yes. I hear you, but for us that has a museum hairdresser, we need to have exposure out there. I'm not crazy about the song, and I agree with the music festival, but for a sci-fi museum, this is actually a perfect fit. So this is just sort of a, and the thing is, like, when you do it for the first time, man, like, we don't have racks, we don't have shelves, we're going to have a 6-foot table. Like, how much could we even possibly stock on there? So it's going to be a challenge, man. The other thing is some people bring some big-ass displays. I'm debating if I want to bring that, like, Mars Attack alien that we bought for Halloween from Spirit. We actually were lucky to get one. They sold out really quick. And what happened is, I I don't know. They sent us one direct, but I never opened it. And then right after, I think it was like $300. They're like on eBay for 1,000, 1,200. It's the alien that goes from Mars Attack. Really cool, life size, big. But they're flimsy. This stuff is made in China, and the quality is not the greatest. I mean, it's pretty cool. But in these places, you have this, some, let's call them picture moments, picture locations. So having that would actually be sort of cool, unless people just like, bang it up and stuff. The problem though is that, we're going with a car, a regular car. My son's mid-size, if even, crossover SUV, so we can only bring so much. So yeah, man, I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I have no idea, man. There will be things that I buy. All right, I'm going to just search while. So that's the end of that. And I believe they might have the guy that runs this. Yeah, Max Michaels. Here he is. So this is an hour and 13 minutes, this particular video right here. I'm not going to play that whole thing, but, we'll see. We'll see how it is. And anyway, the other good news is that I became a grandpa, man, a young guy like me at 30 years old. All right, maybe 32. My son and his wife had their first baby and our first grandbaby. So that was a good moment in life, a nice milestone. Ileana was 8 pounds, 6 ounces, and she's doing very well. She's about a month old now. So we went up to North Carolina and spent some time with them. Very cute baby. Happy to say. I won't put her picture up. That's up to them. I probably wouldn't post a picture of her online or anything like that. That's their business, man. I wouldn't do it. But, since I mentioned Demon Slayer, by the way, let me cross this off, go back here. This is one of those cars that I have a hankering for, but anyway, I'll get to that later. I caught up to One Piece, all 1,000-something episodes. Thank you, Hair Juicer. Appreciate that. So I, been watching Crunchyroll a lot. They have a lot of the cool anime stuff, and I got through all of Attack on Titan. That was actually a good series. The last season was a little bit confusing, but if you like anime stuff, that was pretty good. And now I'm almost done with Demon Slayer, which is actually really cool. Great action on that. So that's my top three now: One Piece, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titan. If you like that kind of stuff, you can't go wrong there. And let's see what else on my little list of anything. That's really it. I wasn't going to be, taking a lot of time today because big funny giant. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Back in the day, believe it or not, back in 1987, this car that you see in front of you here, the Buick GNX, I can't remember. I think it was like 60 or 70,000. Regal, which was a huge selling car back in the day, this and the Cutlass, they came out the Grand National version, which was all black, sinister because it's black, man. But it was faster, had a turbo. But then they came out this GNX. I think they made 500 and change of these models. And they amped up the turbo, bigger turbo. I think McLaren, ASC, that's why it says ASC here. McLaren did a bigger turbo, beefier internals. So at the time, if you could believe this crap, this car was the fastest freaking car, probably accelerating 0 to 60 quarter mile, not top end, but it actually beat like supercars that today go for millions, like the Ferrari F40. It's faster than like a Lamborghini Countach. And it was sort of a legendary car. Now, it was one of those unobtainables back in the day because, I wasn't in a position to buy it back then, but this is one of those things I'm really considering. Now, as a collector car, because I'm a collector, and I like collectible stuff. But when you look at this price, you can grab like a Dodge Demon from 2018. Obviously, you can get the new ones from 2023, which they call the last call, have over 1,000 horsepower. But there's supposedly some problems with them, but the way I would just stick them in a garage, it wouldn't really manifest itself anytime soon. The other thing you got to worry about with the newer cars is what happens when the programming, because a lot of those new cars, their program like launch control and all this crap, and the engine can be calibrated, like if you use alcohol like in the Demon, if you use racing fuel on the original Demon from 2018. But what happens when the computer goes bonkers, and eventually now it's owned, Chrysler's owned by like that conglomerate Stellantis? What happens if they can't fix the freaking computer? I mean, these cars could brick, and not just that car. Any car with a computer. I was thinking about that. If the software goes bad, if gets corrupted, or the computer goes bad, who the hell's going to fix this stuff? Whereas this car here, there's really not much to it. It was still like not that computerized. So that's my thinking. Now, I don't have a garage space other than, I'm telling him, if my son's watching, I told him I'll probably commandeer two of those three garages in that farmhouse, and it'll have something like this in there. So I'll let the chat see if this is an insane price for an old Buick Regal. But keep in mind, this was like the fastest car of its era. And the other cool thing that eventually, like periodically, because I've been collecting musical stuff. And Hair Juicer, you say you like music festival. Here's like some crazy stuff that I like an original Jimi Hendrix signature. Right now, it's at $3,300, and the next bid's 37, and yada yada. And then you see down here, it's authenticated by Roger Epperson, and these supposedly are valid authenticators. But I'm a little leery when it comes to autographs, man, because there's a lot of good forgery going on out there. So this happens to be written in some hotel stationery where he was presumably at. It says here from 1970 stationery, London Cumberland Hotel. So I don't know, man. You could have some really deep fakes on this stuff. But you would think that, the authentication would sort of take care of that, but who knows? But that's sort of the stuff. And this auction, believe it or not, I actually got a huge robot from there. But if you're looking at, oh no, I don't want to submit. Let's see if they have, let's see, auctions. We'll go there and I'll show you. Okay, find autographs. And we'll go to, let's see if they have let's view all categories. And we'll go music. So if you're into music, I'm just showing you something. So here's Beatles stuff. Beatles stuff goes for an insane amount of money. Absolutely insane. Um, Again, if I look at something like this, which I probably did already, to me, this looks like the Beatles signed it, Ringo, Paul, and George, and then Ringo again, like they took two. But Lennon's autograph here looks really wonky, like the ink looks different. So it's stuff like this that gives me pause. But I've seen Beatles stuff get up to like 20, 20 grand for autograph stuff. So here's just showing you weird things I look at, whether I buy them or not. Here's a John Lennon royalties contract for Dear Prudence. And you can see the bidding's already at almost 16 grand, and next bid is 17. So it jumps up in percentage that you have to bid. So just some cool stuff. This is, I'd rather have the whole Beatles, though, quite honestly, like not just Lennon. But so I have acquired some stuff that I know is really vetted. I'll just give you a heads up, like Jimmy Page stuff that's done through Genesis Publishing, where they actually do limited prints, like 4 prints with his 4 favorite guitars, and he signs, 15 of them. They're not cheap, but at least you know that they're authentic and you see him signing. I picked up a Beach Boys, which I had to get the artist proof because I think they sold out of the 10 or so that they made, or 15. It's actually a picture of Good Vibrations and all the living Beach Boys signing it, like Jardine, Mike Love, the Brian Wilson. I forgot the fourth guy. So there's that. But, like there's nothing like getting the old stuff. And, like believe it or not, this stuff is from the era of all the artifacts here. And we have a Zeppelin and a Beatles pinball machine too. So it actually fits the theme of the museum, the musical part of it. So that's it with that. And let's see, because I don't have a ton of time today. Now, I have some cool boxes to show you, but this here is. So I had to pick up ton, a ton of boxes to get this crazy rare Tetsugen, which is Gigantor box. Gigantor the robot from the 60s anime. And unlike Astro Boy, I don't think they made newer Gigantor cartoons. Maybe they did, but I know Astro Boy they made up until recent. Like in the 2000s, they made Astro Boy stuff, but I'm not sure about Gigantor. Anyway, so this guy had this like insanely rare Tetsugen box. So Gigantor. I won't even tell you which one because I only got the box loose and that now I need to hunt for the toy. But I had to buy like a bunch of other boxes with it. And one of them was this guy right here, which is I'm going to have to let me increase my size. That's what I told her. Let me increase my size. There. And this is Cayman Rider, right? Now, I thought all those boxes were double. Show you one more time. So what you have here, this guy over here, with this would be the actual toy. And I don't have the toy, and this I'm coming to find out is pretty rare. So the other boxes are all doubles. So a couple of people were like, oh, are you selling that box? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm trying to find this toy. See if I can get it up on. This was at Yahoo Japan years ago, though. Sold for 42,000 yen, but that was God knows when. Let's go to see English here. Oh, what the hell's the date on this thing? That was 2 years ago. And it's not in the greatest shape. Let me shrink myself down for a sec. Womp womp. But yeah, so I may hold out on this one just to see if I can find this toy and put them together like a married couple. Leave that there. But other than that, I figured I'm gonna open some boxes, and for the collectors out there that are into this stuff, these are all like doubles. So these will be sold one way or the other. I'm gonna start with this little one because it's easy to get to. And they're all rare. And kind of makes me wonder how the hell did this guy get all this? How did he get a bunch of boxes? Like, I mean, I have boxes occasionally loose, but I had a ton of them. Actually, this one I don't have the toy either, so I gotta do my research, my homework before I get rid of this one. Anyway, as I'm unwrapping this, I'm getting like so freaking sick of politics. I was thinking about all this crap that we've had to deal with for 10 years now, since 2015. All this BS. Everything's so damn negative, man. I just can't wait till all this crap's over. Like, I don't know what it's going to take because the people running the show have become really psychotic, sociopathic. But man, oh man, it just sucks, sucks, sucks. So here's Gundam. I don't have any toys like this at all. This might be a die cast. I don't know. Looks like a die cast to me. But I'll have to research and find out how rare this is. Gundam. And but the box is pretty cool, man. So like, yeah, if you're into Gundam, I'll either have this available or I'll try to find a toy, man. One or the other. I actually thought that box was bigger. So, oh wow. Speaking of bigger, let's shrink this down. And the heck is here? Let's move these out of the way. Get another one here. So on this farm property, as I'm cutting this crap open, you know, I was saying the pond has a sort of an island in the middle of it, and they built a bridge, which it's on the videos you can see. Now, I just created a playlist, I think today, put all this farm stuff. It's not really a farm, but I call it that. I think it's funny, kind of hokey, man. Like Green Acres, the old TV series. Um, and they built a bridge onto it, but I didn't realize it could get so submerged. And I was going to build a playhouse on there. Now I'm also thinking about like, what the hell is the mosquito situation going to be? So can you spray? If you stock it with some fish, you're going to kill the fish. So many freaking concerns. But I don't want to build a playhouse and all of a sudden you get inundated with freaking bunch of mosquitoes. That would not be cool, man. So anyway, here's a rare box. I believe I have this. I mean, so far I'm 2 for 2, thinking I had them and I didn't. And if you include the Tetsugen box, that's 3 for 3. I'm pretty sure I have this. Almost positive. So, for you collectors out there, this is a bull mark dun, 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 Mirror Man fighting his kaiju. These are kind of like the ones that weren't anime, the live action. These are like the precursors to the Power Rangers and things like that. So it's a cool box. I'm almost dead. Yeah, this is the rare battery version too, because you could see, put the batteries on the legs there, and you're good to go. So if you need a Mirror Man box, now you know who has an extra. Let's stick this over here. You know what? There might be some boxes within boxes, but I'm not going to go crazy and explore because it's too time consuming and then there's too much packing in this stuff. Although having said that, oh look, what the hell? Let's see if they stuck something inside. They probably did. I would imagine smaller boxes. Yeah, they did. They did. Let's see what the hell is in here. Ta-da. I thought I I thought I paid for more than just what was wrapped. All right. So now we got that. Get rid of that. Before we open this, we go to this. And what the hell is this thing? Let's see. By the way, how's everyone doing this Sunday? I didn't even ask. It doesn't look too familiar, but maybe it is. Oh yeah, we probably have this. Ah, Captain Magma. That's cool, man, because he's fighting this like evil red robot. And this here says Ever Onward, which is pretty cool. So this got to be the skinny-legged Tata toy. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. So, for those that need a Captain Magma box, I'm gonna put it here. All right, what the hell else is going on here? Boo. Ancient Mariner, thank you. Well, that's extra. That is extra. So whoever makes me a good offer, either that or they got to go to the auction company. One or the other. And here's yet another box. And man, did I have to negotiate the hell out of this freaking seller because I mean, these were god awful expensive anyway, but like, I was almost like to the point where I said, you know, I might have to pass. I might have to pass. It's just too much damn money. And by the way, I just heard that Beetlejuice movie is actually pretty good, big, funny, giant. And, you know, supposedly the what they say is the non-woke box office is absolutely kicking ass. And what is it? Inside Out, Deadpool, and Wolverine. Uh, they're sort of proving it. I enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, probably would have done things a little differently. Before I show you this box, I want to make sure that there's nothing in here also. Oh, and there is. There is. Oh, wait. Oh, and this has all the inserts. So I'm hoping somebody has this. Again, the toy needs the box. I actually have to look at my own and not for nothing, take the better one. Here's Major Matt. Rare battery. Look at that Jaguar there, man. That Jaguar kicks ass. Another live action. This toy is really cool. Really cool. Fighting a little kaiju's there. And yeah, there's some scenes from the TV show. There you go. So if you like Major Man and you got the toy and you're like, where the hell am I ever going to find an original box? Well, now you know. Now you know. Oh, and there was I like them small, man. Easy to maneuver. So I think they call the new Beetlejuice movie Beetlejuice. That means if they make a third one, it'll be Beetlejuice. That would be funny. You know, my son when he came home from school one day and he was like so freaked out. I'm like, "What the hell's the matter with you?" And he's like, "They told me if you say Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times, she's gonna get you." I'm like, "For real?" So I went to the mirror. I said, "That's all BS. Come on." So I went to the mirror. I said, "Bloody Mary," and he's like, "Stop, stop! I'm gonna summon her." I was like, "Oh, for the love of God!" I didn't do it though because he was too traumatized. Anyway, this is actually very cool. Wolf Boy Ken. Maybe I should take these to Ancient City Con, but I don't think the shoppers are going to be in the 4-digit price range if you get my drift. Let's put it on this side next to the Gundam because that's a small box. And what the hell is this? What the hell is this? So again, I was almost extorted to get all these. So far, all these are extras for me, with the exception of the Gundam and that Kamen Rider rocket. Not extorted. I mean, I could have done whatever the hell I wanted, but I wanted that one particular box. It is so epically rare. So I'm going to check inside this first. Oh yeah, there's another one. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. The last one in there, I'm not 100% sure I have that, but anyway. And what you're looking at here, these are all like thousands of dollars. Like here's Moonlight Mask. It could be two, it could be 3,000. Depending what the toy. The toy, let's say in the box, could be 4 or 5,000. The box typically would be worth more. So if the toy is 5,000 in the box, this would be like a $3,000 box. But what are the odds that somebody has the toy loose? Well, pretty good in a way. But so anyway, I like Moonlight Mask. His graphics are always cool. It's kind of like who's that Marvel equivalent to Moonlight Mask? That and they did that TV series. So he's the battery up version. What the hell's his name? I can't even remember. But there is a Marvel equivalent, believe it or not. Here. So call your friends. Say, hey, you guys got a couple of 10 grand to spend? Oh, they're 4 digits, dude. 100%. That's without question. I don't know about Gundam, but like this, for sure. This is easy 2 grand. Easy. Most of them are. Even like Wolf Boy Ken, that could even be more. I mean, I have some boxes that are in the 5 digits. Maybe even more than that, believe it or not. We have a series of, just to give you an idea, we have more than a handful of toys that were 6 figures in this collection. So, yeah, man. And this, last but not least, Astro Boy speeding in his boat. I'm pretty sure I have this. I mean, at the very least, I can compare it to the one I have, but that's sort of cool. Put them on top of Major Matt. Well, I don't know if anyone else wants to see this. I'll show it one more time. Maybe I don't have this toy. Could be like a toy that I just didn't want because boats are a pain in the ass to display because they don't sit straight. But I may not because I don't remember a box saying Ocean Pet. So this could be a case where I have the box and not the toy. I have it. Probably the biggest Astro Boy tin collection in the world at this point. All right, so that was all the boxes. Now I have two rare models. Plus, if you saw you go on that community, whatever you call it, uh, where you post pictures on YouTube. I have the Godzilla and King Kong model by MI. So I started collecting more and more of these unbuilt model kits. Most of them are unbuilt, and sometimes I come across some that are built. But this I could not resist. Didn't even know they made this. What's cool about the hobby, you get into different areas. You're like, hey, well, I didn't know they made that. I didn't know something else I could waste money on. So this is like really cool. I was very psyched to get this. This is a very rare MI Astro Boy model. So if you're talking four figures, by the way, um, this was well over into the four figures. These model kits are rare, especially unbuilt. And they got his pretty little face there. Look at that, man. Can you imagine? I think it's a water slide decal trying to get that thing on there. My hands would be trembling, screw this up. I'm going to screw it up, and I wouldn't be using screw. I'd be using more colorful description. And this is awesome, though. But yeah, I'll just show you again. The body's flesh in here, if you could see that. Body's flesh. I got some of these bags. Look at this. And look at his remote control, his head. The remote control is blue. It has an atom symbol on it. It's hard to do this without everything falling apart. But yeah, getting the motor kit is cool. Ancient Mariner, I hear you, but you should see the ones that I have so far. I gotta, I started getting into it really just for the boxes. And I don't know that I would get them all because they just made so many, but they're so rare now. There's so few of them that survive. Whoop, don't knock over the mic, Astro Boy. I have all the rare Tetsugen models. Some of those models, for those that are still watching, some of the Tetsugen models at Mandarake were over $10,000 for the Tetsugen ones, and I think I got all the rare ones there. And I actually got some that were partially built, so doubles, just to have a display one. Not that I display them, because I don't have anywhere to display them. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So now, if again, go to the Facebook community stuff, and you'll see the Godzilla and the King Kong in my models. Which one actually Godzilla's Marisan, and that's what I have the first issues of the MI models. I think all of them. All right, and speaking of MI, am I going to show you this? Yeah, I'll show you this. What the hell did we unbox here? 50,000. Crazy. Crazy, man. If you know this stuff, you're like, geez Louise. So this is a first issue, not a reissue, because that's the other thing to be careful for. But here is another MI. This is Big X, but the reason I got it is because it's the robot, man. And actually, this came with it, I guess. Instructions, an instruction sheet tells you how to pull it together. That's pretty freaking cool. He shoots a rocket He shoot a rocket out of his hand, or is he getting shot? Let's open this puppy up, man. But yeah, the first issue Tessigen cost a boatload. A boatload. You don't want to know what I spent at that Mandarake Tessigen auction. So here's the innards, the gizzards. These are the things that are usually stapled. There's two of them. And, Big X did fight the Nazis there. If you know the story of Big X, he was sort of like Steve Rogers, Captain America, but he had to take injections for almost like each battle. So if he, didn't take a shot, he didn't have his super strength. But when he took his shot, he was like super strong. And then the Japanese changed that because they didn't like the factor in the 60s and 70s, I guess, like people were heroin addicts and they're like, oh, we don't want to be promoting drug use. So they dialed back on the shots and they did it through something else. Here's the back of V. He's got rivets and all that good stuff. Let's see if I got the front of him. So this is unbuilt, but they sort of took some stuff out. And then you can see here, those two green things in the corners are stapled on, so I can't really get to them. Let's see, we got to the front of the body. Yep, here's the front. And this here has the stickers. I know, I need that book. I saw it on Alpha Drome, and I'm like, I gotta find that freaking book. I got to find that book. I don't know if it's on Amazon. I know it'll be pricey. I don't really care, but I desperately want that book. Um, I'm thinking I have maybe 40 rare models at this point, but the rarest of the rare. So, I mean, again, I'm not looking to collect all of them, just too much. And as a matter of fact, as models go, um, Mandarake just had a auction and they had a huge amount of the MI and could have been also Marisan models, but they were like the standard dinosaurs like T-Rex, Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus. And, they didn't bring crazy money. And they're probably just as rare, some of them. Now, John Rigg at the Robot Hut made a good point. He said these things were meant to be like destroyed in a day. Some kids may have tried to build these things, and within 24 hours, the kits are broken and destroyed. Got frustrated, they broke a piece, lost a piece. So surviving, unbuilt kits are pretty hard to come by. Um, Now I got to figure out how to pack this in a way that's, I don't know how they fit everything in because I can't get everything in. But, let me just put this. And I'm going to end this off with one model that was actually built. Put this with the instructions over here on top there. Now, this is an unbelievably rare model kit that was built, and I don't have the box, but it was so rare, and I didn't like it. It is ugly. It's ugly as sin. And it's a kaiju and it's a monster, and I'm sure people are going to be like, oh man, he's cool. And it works. And I was just like, man, that is so ugly. I don't want this thing. And, like, it got to the point where I had to offer a stupid low price. Not that it was cheap, but like way less than they wanted. Because I'm like, despite the rarity, I think it's just too damn ugly. It doesn't appeal to me like at any aesthetic level at all. But, people were like, oh, it's super rare. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't have to have everything that's rare. If I think it's ugly, I'm not going to buy it, like I have to look at this stuff. But then it sort of grew on me, like the ugly dog in Deadpool. That's actually a dog, I think in the UK that won the ugly dog contest. That was a real dog. And sometimes, even the uglies, get, some love and attention. So This thing though, I mean, I hope I can fit it on a shelf because if not, it's just going to be like a real freaking pain in the ass to. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I got to be very careful with it because it's got some stuff that could break easily. So just bear with me while I unwrap this. Because speaking of unwrap, I'm going to wrap it up after this. I'm pretty sure. So before I show you this, um, oh yeah, it's one part's already unglued. So despite them telling me, if you remember Tennessee Tuxedo, the cartoon from the '60s that had Chumley. Well, this is not Chumley, but it's freaking close. Let's put this out of the way. We're concluding the live stream with the ugliest model that I own now. So, uh, ta-da! Here is your walrus, and what's it called? I think Tobador, something like that. Tobador. Let me uh, let me put it in here. We got to get the Tobador. We got to get the. I forgot the. No, it's not coming up. Hey, is somebody out there? Tell me what's the name on that box. It's something like Tobador. Spell it for me. One of those boxes for Uncle Frank. Sit tight, my friends. Yeah, it is the walrus from Ultra Q. Ancient Mariner, you're good, man. You guys are slower than frickin' Heinz ketchup, newly unsealed. Oh, Todora. Let's see. TOD. Todora. Todola. Yep, you got it. Todola. Yep, here is Todola. And I think this is so rare because it's so damn ugly nobody wanted it. What kid would want this ugly walrus? So over here you can see the glue dried up because it's I mean it's I could re-glue it, meant to go right there. And it's a remote. The wire is supple, very very soft and pliable, as a matter of fact. So they said it worked. I don't believe they painted it. Maybe just the tusks and the eyes. So for those that say like, don't paint them on, you know, I'm glad they painted the eyes and the tusks if they did in the teeth because or else it would look kind of stupid if it was all like black plastic. But yeah, so Ancient Mariner, you tell me how rare Todola, like was it Imai? Let's go to Todola. I do, like I said, I do agree it's rare. Maybe he's going to be my lovable pet. Let's go Todola. I don't even know if it's a my or Marisan, but we'll put a my model kit. They probably don't even have it because I was told this was like. So the story behind this. All right, we'll put Marisan. Now I was told that this was like a limited run. Um, they didn't make too many of these. So I put Todola Marisan model kit, and nothing's coming up. Nothing is coming up. Let's go to, and here's the. This is the actual. I got the first edition of this Godzilla here. By the way, that's what's posted, and I put that on Facebook. Uh, and the King Kong, which I'd never seen before. So here we go. Oh, so here's the box. Let me shrink myself here a little bit. Here's your Ultra Q Todora. They call it Todora. Some people call it Todola. So, Ancient Mariner, you tell me, how rare is this model kit? I can't imagine this is very popular. Now, I guess though, if you're into Ultraman, Ultra Q, then you might say, hey, I want the model. But that's us geeks, right? So with his floppy legs, I'm going to show you one last time here. One last time. Let's get the cursor over here. So my gut tells me they painted the teeth, the tusks, and the eyes. Pretty good shape. It'll work. I may have to, well, now it's sticking on there, but I may have to glue that back fin. And yeah, so we're going to put Tadola back here. We'll see if his leg stays on. And that's my ugly walrus model. And before I go, let's shrink this back up. I decided today I'll just run through some of the Japanese tin here. I do my sort on the newest tin. So as we wrap up, I always like to go through maybe 10 pages of the old vintage toys on eBay. Now, here's a strolling Sam, but I need strolling Sally, his sister or wife or whatever it is. I actually have this Mirror Man rocket toy. And let's see if there's anything. I have Garon. I'm going to show you some. Hold on. Now I got to make this bigger again. So as I'm looking at this Garon here, this is, but this is obviously the reproduction. So I have the original Garon, and but this is from Osaka Tin Toy Institute. I don't know anyone else that has Garon tin sheets. I had these framed with Optium, which is the acrylic version of museum glass, much more expensive. All my stuff's in Optium, unless they're small. If it's small, I'll do museum glass because or else it's too heavy. But how cool is that? Let me see if I can get it right in the front. Now, what would have been nice I'll just put this back here. What would have been really cool would be if Osaka Tin Toy had sheets of like the vintage stuff. That would have been freaking awesome. But alas, they didn't. And let's go back here. The one time I did this and I picked up a ray gun for like $50. It was incredibly rare. The box, the gun itself was fairly rare. The box was like unseen. So, doing the live stream, I was like, oh, what do you know? That looks pretty cool. And I'm not like a ray gun expert. So I was just a very lucky find. And yeah, let's see here. Ancient Mariner, you got to chime in and tell me how rare you think that Tadola is. And if you know anyone that has it. Here's a rare Batman car. Nothing sticking out at me. I do subcategories though. Like all on the old toys, you can go robot, space toy, astronaut, rocket, spaceship, whatever it is you're looking for. Speaking of which, here's a rocket, but I do the general stuff. I have this little dinosaur here. It's kind of cool. So this is gives you an idea of like the Marisan and the MI models. I mean, this is a tin windup, obviously, but this is the kind of stuff Mandaraki had if you were interested. And they weren't cheap, the model kits. You know what else I got, by the way? Heritage auctions. I got not a lot, but probably 4 Batman models that were rare from the 60s. nobody was really bidding on them. Nobody was interested, and they were first editions too, like a cool bat boat. I'm like, oh, I wonder why that Batman stuff, like everything was going crazy, like the sedan. Wow, 10,000 mitten box for Todola. Look at that. So who was it? Big funny giant, you doubting Thomas, you. Oh, now, and that box is ugly. So that's a case now, because I have the model loose. I'll make this argument um, that the toy in that particular instance might be worth more than the box. Let's see if, yeah, this. I mean, the box might be rare, but this is not aesthetically speaking. It's not a crazy attractive box, is my opinion. But at the very least, you could say 50-50. No, no die cast stuff. I just don't have the room. I don't want to go crazy, but I never thought I'd collect jumbo machinders, and there you go. Now I have, at least 10 of them, and those things are freaking huge. There's probably some die cast that I would like, but the room is really everything. And now, the value, it's like there's so much invested already. And like for me that's doing this publicly and people come in here, people's eyes glaze over, man. I'm telling you, like they go through the one main case, they see all like the classic couple hundred robot space toys, the Batman toys, and there's hundreds in that main room, and they're like already kind of blown away. Then they see the two big cases with all the battery toys, so you just can't process it. A toy, like I've had toy collectors here. The longest stayed for 3 hours, to give you an idea. So, if you're into it, no, that's all right, big funny giant. I'm just messing with you. Don't take it seriously. Oh, look at this. Aha! Now here's a good little toy that I've never seen this clean in my life. The futuristic Comet Racer. Ah, there you go. Add it to the watch list. I might have to. Oh, ends in. I'm gonna place a bid. Am I logged in? Ah, it was flying under the radar. There, now I'm the high bidder. I think I have a very poor version of this. This is a nice version. Nice. Look at that windshield, man. That is clean. Never seen this toy this clean. And this design was used in a lot of the super, I mean, like super crazy rare. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is the body of the Mars car that boy, Milestone Auction sold one for like 60 something thousand. Don't 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 get crazy. This car is not it, but the body, the body pressing is the same. So yeah, there you go. Once in a while, you hit on a few good things. I have, just to give you an idea, I have the original box and toy for this. Um, this toy is not particularly rare. It's not common, but like the box is impossible, absolutely impossible to find. One of the rarest space toy boxes ever. I should show you guys. I'll have to do it. That actually came from a big collection that I picked some items up from. Not too many people. Look at this. I was already outbid on this. Who the hell outbid me? One of you watchers? One of you guys watching this are like, screw that, man. I'm getting in on the action. I got 8 hours, though. I probably won't be outbid unless I totally space on it, which stranger things have happened. You know what? Let's go back. Let's get this guy worried. Go back here, and you know what? Let's put there. Put it 800. Now we'll see how quick I get outbid. It probably won't take long. It'll be funny. I'll just leave it on there. All right, let's go forward. That is so funny. That's a serendipity for you. So stuff like this, I hate to see it, like this Chinese reproduction stuff. This isn't even a reproduction. This is just like a little mini wind-up version of the big toy. But like, why would you have this in the antique toys? So this is the kind of stuff you got to know, because Some people might think, well, it's in the antique section. eBay must be antique. No, no, it's not. And that happens all the freaking time. I got rid of I had this Buttons puppy with a brain. It's kind of the same base as the rare Mark's Haunted House. And it didn't work with batteries, but it worked with the buttons. But it's just big, kind of ugly, to be honest with you. If the glue that holds this fur on these battery plush, I call them plush battery toys, if that glue, as it gets hard and ages, sometimes it'll bleed through and it leaves like dark spots. I guess like age spots when we get ugly and we get dark spots too. I guess our internal glue bleeds through. Here's a kind of a rare VW truck. Two bids, 127. No, not my. Well, I like it, but I would like it in the box. I'll go to 10. I might go to 15 pages just because. Ooh, look at this thing. 3,000. This is got to be a Japanese. No, from France. It's probably a very rare airplane. It's good looking. I guess you could suspend it from here. This is early. Oh, it's a seaplane from the 50s. It's a good looking toy though. I don't know that it's 3 grand, but you never know. You never know. Not for me, but for somebody. This is a good looking little car. Can if you're buying anything out of Japan, you're better off finding somebody in Japan because these guys will list other people's items, and you kind of get ripped off. Here's an Astro Boy, a flyer for parts, and it's still $1,000. I don't like these flyers, man. They're another pain to display. They wobble when you put them on the shelf. They're long because they're extended horizontally. But like for me, I'll take the ones like Gigantor, Astro Boy, the main characters I collect. But I don't like them. Don't like them one bit. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say I like them. I don't like to display them. The toys themselves, if you actually suspend them and turn them on, they're pretty cool, actually. And we're gonna go to 15 pages, and we're at 11. Then we're gonna call it a day. I got to throw all this packing material away. As a matter of fact, Andrew, if you're listening, come start scooping up some of this packing material. And nothing crazy here. I speed read auctions, man. My eyes are like, like I'm so used to this stuff. People speed read. That's how I am with these pictures. So if I'm going by fast, it's because I'm so used to like doing this. I mean, hell, I've been on eBay almost since its inception. So eBay alone, 25 years or more. And in this hobby, 40 years. So yeah, I'm like used to just scrolling, looking, scrolling, looking. Sometimes I slow down if there's something that, I want to just get a little. This is the third Mirror Man rocket, which again, this is from Japan. So this is when I'm telling you these dealers will list things. Like 10 dealers will list the same item. None of them own it. It could be for sale on Yahoo Japan, and if they get a stupid price, then they'll buy it and hope that they get it. And then sometimes they'll say, "Sorry, we don't have the toy. Here's a refund." Here's a cheap car from Japan. Now this looks Chinese to me. Let me see. Yeah, that figure is a Chinese figure. So this is probably an old Chinese toy. But you know what? I guarantee it's worth $12. Um, it's not a common Chinese toy. And some of the early 60s Chinese toys are starting to bring in some stupid money now. A lot of people didn't collect them for whatever reason, just like the Soviet toys, Eastern European toys. All right, last but not least, my friends, 15. Anything? A Hippo Bank. Nope. Well, you get your occasional flying saucer here, rockets. Have I seen the box for this rare silver tin Ford with robot and passenger? Yep, because I have a reproduction of that box and I have the toy. That's one of my few reproduction boxes. I actually offered to buy that one in Japan. And I can tell you, he wanted six figures for that toy in the box. Yes, six figures. And not low six. He wanted like mid to upper six. And I was like, dude, you are insane. That's not going to happen. But um, a lot of people used to think that toy was cobbled, it was fake. But now, and I know somebody that has the real box. So, and that's how I got my reproduction box, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I'd love to pick up that toy. I had my contact in Japan. Yeah, and when I say well, like he wanted more than 300, more than 400,000. He claims he was offered a half a million for it between you and me. So I think it's sort of a fit. We'll go to Sweet 16 as I wrap this up. Oh, look at this. This was a good page. You have a lot of robots and stuff here. Look at this from the United Kingdom. Hey, Ancient, is that you out there? Wow, there's some good stuff here. So, yep, 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 yep. Yeah. This is actually pretty cool. I like the ray guns that are shaped like a rocket plane, a rocket ship. This one's actually pretty cool. I've never seen this one. Shaped like a P-51 Mustang. That is really cool. Um, I'll add it to the watch list. You can buy for 76 bucks. I think that's actually cheap. It's not in the greatest shape, a little scratchy, but it's sort of cool. But yeah, yeah, and but anyway, to conclude, even I have my limits. When somebody gets like that, because I know that you didn't buy these toys for like that kind of insane amount of money. So no, you're not getting a half a million from me. That's for sure. I mean, good luck. Um, so that, my friend, concludes the stream. We're gonna end it up with Tadola will leave a picture of the box, and Ancient Mariner, if you come across this box ever, please let me know. Yeah. And listen, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a great, great, great Sunday weekend. And I like to do these periodically. I try to do them once a month as I accumulate stuff and I have to go through them and open them. So that's kind of the point of this. And sometimes I'll talk more like get a little political or entertainment, but I didn't really feel like doing it today. Like I said, I'm actually getting sick of all the politics, even the politics in gaming and movies. I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm to the point where, like, if I don't like something, I'm just not going to go. Vote with your wallet and then call it a day. So, anyway, listen, thanks again. I appreciate you guys joining me, and I will talk to you later.